WWE set Charlotte Flair up to fail. Extra Charlotte Flair won the Women's Royal Rumble in her WWE return match after a 14-month injury absence. Despite the victory, Vince Russo thinks WWE's higher-ups are trying to test the Queen by booking her in a polarizing way. Flair performed as a babyface after returning to the ring on February 1st. However, the 38-year-old almost immediately showed a villainous side to her on-screen persona after fans booed her promos. On Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Outlaws, Russo questioned why Flair flaunted her wealth and luxurious lifestyle in video packages before her return. He also speculated to host Dr. Chris Featherstone that WWE purposely made her look bad by failing to highlight her ACL, MCL, and meniscus injuries. What did they do, Chris? Oh, they showed her on a yacht, Russo said. She's got all this money. We talked about it. We didn't get that. That's why, Chris, they missed the mark so many times. I always think they're setting people up because it was so easy what they could have done. Watch the video above to hear Russo pitch an idea that would have made Charlotte Flair a babyface after her return. How Vince Russo would present Charlotte Flair. In 2013, Charlotte Flair's brother Reed passed away, aged 25. The 14-time women's champion's personal life made headlines again recently after news broke about her divorce from fellow WWE star Andrade. Flair will challenge Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania 41 on April 19th to 20th. According to Vince Russo, the Women's Royal Rumble winner would benefit from telling her real-life story on television. It's going to sound crazy, but you're dealing with crazy people. WWE booked Charlotte Flair that way because they don't want to make it easy for her. That's why. And it's the old. Well, let's test her and see if she goes for this. Think about this, Chris. If she sat down with you and that real-life story was played on television, who else goes through that? I mean, she has gone through such trauma in her freaking life. Go there. Let's go there. In the same episode, former WWE star EC3 gave his thoughts on how wrestlers' careers are affected by personal problems outside of work. Shut up, okay. Former WWE star Blast, Charlotte Flair's critic Charlotte Flair, has been one of WWE's top stars since receiving her main roster call-up in 2015. Almost a month on from the Queen's return, former WWE talent EC3 fired back at fans for criticizing her Royal Rumble victory that on February 1st, Flair outlasted 29 competitors to become the first two-time Women's Royal Rumble winner. The 38-year-old had not wrestled since tearing her ACL, MCL, and meniscus against Asuka almost 14 months earlier. EC3 appeared on Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Outlaws alongside host Dr. Chris Featherstone and former WWE writer Vince Russo. The two-time TNA World Champion explained why Flair deserves to be in prominent positions compared to up-and-coming stars. Just because you think somebody deserves something, sometimes the people that are in these positions are there for a reason, because they're still outworking those people, EC3 said. So, just because you, in your desperation to see something new, even though some fans say, we want to see something new. Oh, wait, that's from 20 years ago. Excited reaction to legends returning. Yeah. Shut up, okay. Watch the video above to hear Vince Russo reveal how he would have included Andrade in his Charlotte Flair's WWE return storyline. EC3 addresses Charlotte Flair's WWE star power. Despite returning as a babyface, Charlotte Flair has mostly received boos since her Women's Royal Rumble triumph. She has also shown a more villainous side to her character after choosing WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton as her WrestleMania 41 opponent. In EC3's opinion, Flair is worthy of being positioned at the top of WWE's women's division ahead of popular stars from the NXT developmental brand. Just because this person, random fan, says, oh, I wish it was somebody over from NXT. Why? Are they doing the same things? Are they working twice as hard as her? I doubt it. People are on top for a reason, and it's not just by beating them you get the rub and put over. Sometimes the people that you think should be beating these top people should not. And there's a lot of reasons beyond what you know. Discussing Flair's divorce from WWE star Andrade, EC3 also shared his thoughts on wrestlers' mindsets when they continue performing while having personal issues. Charlotte Flair has been overexposed in WWE, just like top AEW star. Claims Con and Charlotte Flair made her much-awaited in-ring return earlier this year in the Women's Royal Rumble match. She won the high-stakes contest by last eliminating Roxanne Perez. Conan recently compared the Queen's WWE run to MJF's booking in AEW. Flair will challenge WWE Women's
Charlotte Flair
Champion
broke
Tiffany
a
Stratton
long-standing
for her title
WWE
at
tradition
WrestleMania
to
41.
show she's a
If the
perfect
Queen wins
natural
this
heel
bout,
Charlotte Flair,
she will become triumphantly returned to wrestling at the WWE Royal Rumble Premium Live event, competing in her first match in over a year after a serious knee injury. She was pre-announced for the match, so it wasn't a surprise moment. But in typical Flair fashion, she made sure everyone left the show talking about her. That's because the Queen returned with a bang, winning the Women's Royal Rumble and booking her place at WWE WrestleMania 41. However, after a brief moment in the sun as a babyface, fans brought her crashing back down to earth with a bang by booing her out of the building the following night, proving her quality as a heel by going against a classic wrestling tradition. Typically, in wrestling, whenever someone returns from a serious injury, they're welcomed back with a babyface run because fans are just happy to see them. Considering the length of time that Charlotte was sidelined for, coupled with her general star power, most people presumed that would be the case here. Charlotte Flair didn't get the welcome back babyface run. Flair got a good reception in the Royal Rumble match itself, and that seemed to set things up positively for a babyface run. However, the next night on WWE Raw, fans hated her again. And it was as if no time had passed from her previous run in WWE, despite the fact she was cutting a genuinely babyface promo about the adversities she's dealt with and the problems she's had to overcome. Fans just seem to have zero sympathy for Flair. It's a unique situation for someone to be in, but it does prove that she's a genuinely fantastic heel. And that's not easy to find when someone is also a terrific in-ring talent like she is. That WWE consistently makes booking mistakes with Charlotte Flair. Big reason fans immediately turned on Charlotte Flair after her return is that there appears to be nothing new with her character or in how WWE is booking her. From the moment she arrived on the main roster, WWE has forced her into main event positions, racking up title wins to seemingly catch her father's record as quickly as possible. None of that aligns with a babyface, so people prefer to cheer the likes of Bayley or Becky Lynch. Fans like to see someone scrap and earn their opportunities, and returning from a serious injury like Flair did provide WWE the chance to tell that story with Flair, having her narrowly miss out and be forced to scrap for everything. However, WWE just had her waltz back and immediately won the Royal Rumble. That's the same type of booking the company has always done. Unfortunately, at this stage, audiences are genuinely tied to it. Flair might be an incredible professional wrestler, but she has become stagnant, and that's a problem for her character. The fact that fans wasted no time telling WWE exactly that isn't a positive sign either. There are certain wrestlers who fans cannot imagine as a heel, such as Rey Mysterio, but Charlotte Flair falls into the opposite category. While she's been a babyface in the past, it is a role that's never quite suited her and has never felt truly organic or natural when it has been attempted. Charlotte Flair is unlikely to ever work as a babyface. A big reason for that is her overall presentation. While some fans can get cheered for claiming they're the best in the world, such as CM Punk, Flair cannot. Seeing her walk out in huge robes or wearing designer gear for promos all push a classic heel character, and her often arrogant persona only supports that Flair is a genuinely brilliant heel who always gets a massive reaction from the fans, which is crucial for anyone in this role. WWE doesn't have many of these at the top level, and that's why the company might just consider never changing her at this point. The path forward for Charlotte can already be seen, as she is now fully leaning into her heel gimmick, as was shown on last week's SmackDown during her promo with Tiffany Stratton. There's no turning back now. Charlotte Flair shows off new physique. Sends message to fans. Charlotte Flair showed off her impressive new physique on social media, following this week's edition of